This is Shantara. Welcome back to my channel. I pray that you guys are well, holding on to hope and faith, doing the best that you can in these times right now. But you got to know that you are victorious and God is more than able to do abundantly above all that we can ask for. You just got to hold on and keep the faith. I've been praying for you guys. This is going to be an update about Houston. I have been MIA. I had a long nap. We finally got to church after some months. And service was really good. After church, I took a long nap. And now I'm up, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, technically Monday. So I'm getting ready to wash my face and take a shower. I got these little cucumber wipes from D's Discount. As of right now, a couple of days ago, I picked up some black Jamaican castor oil, 100% natural, and some Silky Soul hair food. She is a black entrepreneur, so we are trying these right now for my hair. You can use them for eyelashes, and you guys know I have traction alopecia, so I'm working on that. And I'm going to do a charcoal cleanse and then just go ahead and moisturize with some African shea butter. Y'all, I need to sit down so I can update you, and I hope this video is not too long. But y'all, okay, so we've been in Houston now for, wiping this makeup off, today's makeup. So we've been in Houston for about a month now, you guys. We have been in a motel. You guys already know about my husband's job offer, his career now job, and all that stuff. He's working out in the Virgin Islands. He is gone for 3 months, comes home for a week. Gone for 3 months, comes home for a week. So that is going to be his schedule for now. Getting his whole career started in the oil refinery business, right? So we move here. Terry got his car. You guys, we have had car issues. I am now currently being sued by a realtor that I was working with on helping me find a place. Me and the kids have still been in this motel room. It's been over a month. You guys know school is starting, so I have been so stressed out, so on overload. Me and him have ran into some bumps in the road because you guys know that I was just now moving back home. I was only home for a week before the job offer, after moving out with everything that was going on in my marriage and all of that, right? And us separating. Okay, y'all, so let's get into this update real quick. So, y'all, we transported the cars. Remember, I told you we transported the cars. Everybody got their packages. You're very welcome. You guys have emailed me, and we've been talking kind of, you know, with some of my subbies. You are very welcome. I'm glad you guys like the items. But, okay, so we had the cars transported. One car was transported. Terry's car was transported, a week before we left. My car was transported the day before we left, right? And so flying was great. I just have a couple of issues with that as far as my son being special needs and him not wanting to sit there and kind of just, let me turn this light on. Him not wanting to sit there and just kind of like acting a fool, right? So some people were getting irritated a little bit with him, and you know what I mean, with him, and just, but it was okay. Our first time flying was great. No complaints. Can't say nothing about that. Okay, so we fly, we get to Houston, everything is fine. The cars are supposed to come a week apart from each other. The direct transport, we went through a direct transport service, is $1,100. They take out $200 out of your account, and then when the car arrives, cash on delivery is $975, right? So, okay, fine, we'll do that. They'll come a weekend apart from each other that way. We'll have to worry about finances and the money or whatever. So, I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can. So we do that. I get to Houston 2 days later, 3 days later, my car show up. I'm like, dang, my car showed up. Terry's car already been gone for a week. Okay, so my car shows up. Terry's car didn't show up until a few days later, which was actually 2.5 weeks later. So his car showed up 2.5 weeks later, which was a day after my car showed up. So now we're like with the money in his bank. They're kicking back the money. They got to reprocess it to see that this money is coming in from the Virgin Islands to the bank. It's got to clear. It's got to go through all these channels, right? So it's not like you get paid on Friday, but in reality, he wasn't getting paid until every Tuesday. So when the man shows up, I had just paid for my car the day before. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money. We're waiting on the bank, whatever, whatever. So the guy's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to another part deeper in Texas, and I'll be back on Friday, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. That gives us enough time. By the time he come back, y'all, we still don't have the money together. I'm like, oh my gosh, the bank, he had already wired me the money, but my bank wouldn't release me the money. They was like, you can use your card, but we're not going to hand you any money, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, and because my account is fairly new, I just opened up this Wells Fargo account. They wouldn't open up the daily limit, so I couldn't get the money. I'm like, this man like, what? That's crazy. I ain't never heard of that before. So he thinking we lying and playing around or whatever. And so the man started texting me. Okay, you're not ready. You don't have the money. It's going to be this amount of money. I'm going to charge you $1,000 extra for a dry run and $100 extra for coming and having to leave and come back and all of this, right? So it's just like tacking up. And he like, if you don't have the money by this amount of time, I'm going to have to put a lien on your car. It's going back to Sacramento, woo, 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 right? So I'm like, okay, I got the money, whatever. By the time he came back that Friday, he was like, I'll be here another day, but if you don't have the money, I'm going to be gone. So I'm like, I got the money. He was like, nope, I'm already going to Sacramento. So he takes the car back to Sacramento. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So got to have all this money in his account. So that pushed the move date back. So the money that I was supposed to use for my first month's rent and deposit, I actually had to use that for the car. It came out to a total of $3,150, and that was move-in, rent, and deposit. And so it had, and on top of us paying weekly for this room. So it's like a full fridge, and it's got a stove and stuff here, but I mean, come on now. We've been here for at least a month, so we're pretty much tired of each other. We've been in this space, and it's just like, So dealing with that. So I tell the realtor lady who was helping me, I'm going to have to put the move on hold. I don't have the money right now. All of this money had to go into his account. This and that. He was going to put a lien on the car, all that. I'm freaking out within this time. This is happening every week since we've been here. I'm in Walmart. I have a freaking breakdown. I'm crying. TJ acting a fool. And you know when things are going haywire, your kids tend on acting crazy. Everybody's just going crazy, right? So I lose him in Walmart and I just melt. I just have a complete meltdown. I'm like, I'm tired of this. I just need some grace. This is just too much. I'm trying to hurry up and get this money situation together and all this, right? So finally we take care of that. We put the money in there, which pushes the move back day. So I contact the realtor again. She helps you not only looking for a house to buy, but if you're looking for a house to rent, she'll help you, you know, supposedly, you know, and just she gets a commission off of the people who you rent from. They have a contract with them, right? So okay, after we get the car back done, okay, now we're back to house hunting. This is last week. Now we're back to house hunting. We're looking at houses. We're having issues. They asking for all this information between the cars. We don't have some of the information. This is the top 5, one of the top 5 fraudulent states. So there's a lot of scheming going down. There's a lot of scamming here. People are just dog every man for himself for the most part as far as financials and kind of dealing like that. So the lady goes, we went out a couple times, like twice. We saw altogether about 4 houses. But mind you, while we done went with her a couple times to go look at some houses, I'm also still house hunting on my own, right? Because I'm like, I'm not about to leave house hunting up to a person who, you know what I mean? Like, I still want to look too and just make sure that I'm doing everything and I'm doing the best, whatever that I can, just to make sure that we get up out of here because school is starting. We got all this stuff going on, right? And so, okay, boom. So last week, the guy who house I applied for, you know, he was having us wait around or whatever, and he ends up telling us like, okay, well, the house, and there would be a couple of times I would call this lady and she wouldn't respond, or a couple of times I would, you know, let her know like, okay, what are we doing? And she'd be like, we're going house hunting today, you know, be ready at this time. And I wouldn't hear from her. And so I took it upon myself to go fill out a couple of applications on my own, right? So I did that, and the lady was asking me like, do you have a realtor? You know, because they get a certain commission for them. I told her, well, I do have somebody that I'm working with, but I haven't heard from her, which is why I'm here. I need help with my application. I'm trying to upload all these documents, information, this and that. She was like, well, she's not going to get paid for, you know, the commission if you get the place and she's not here or you haven't heard from her. Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I went ahead and I applied. I hadn't heard from her, and I ended up hearing from her like 2 days later. Oh, we're going to go look at a couple more houses, whatever. So we looked at a couple more houses, and so the house that we applied for, she created this document. I was there for a couple hours, and she kind of created the document, and you got to pay for the credit checks and all that. So she was waiting on that, and she was handling on a house that we believed that we were going to get. But I was like, Lord, your will above my will. Yes, this house is amazing. Yes, it's great, but I want the house that you have for us. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm trying to move. Yes, I'm trying to get it together, but I want the house that you want. So long story short, we didn't get the house that she applied for. We ended up getting approved the next day for the house that I went and did the footwork for, you know? So I'm like, oh my goodness, they have just approved me for the house. What do? She shoots me a message back immediately. First time ever, so swiftly. You know I'm not going to get paid. Woman of God, been through cancer twice. Her son was murdered. I mean, we connected on a spiritual level. So I thought every time we would go out, which was twice, we went out, we got a couple houses on 2 separate occasions. I gave her gas money. Mind you, more than $10 when gas down here ain't nothing but $2.15 a gallon. More than $20 I gave her. Mind you, I'm not going to say how much, but it was more than 20, more than 30. Both times we went out, right? Just out of the kindness of my heart, I'm like, here for your time. It's hot out here. It's humid. Just to show you that I appreciate you for helping me, right? Boom. She, oh yeah, take the money, whatever. It's nothing. So when they approve me and she shoots me a message saying, you didn't get approved for the house that we applied for. The man didn't like some things on you guys' credit. He said the income was great, but he didn't like the credit. So he was going to pass on us and give the house to somebody else. Cool. Shortly thereafter, I get an email from the other house. You've been approved. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was asking for all this information. I'm telling her, look, I don't have it. If push come to shove, thank you for your time. God bless you. I don't know. This has been a nightmare of a move. Like, I just cannot no more. So if you give it to me, you give it to me. If you don't, you don't. She was like, okay, I'm going to let them know. She sent that through. They approved me. We get the house, right? So, and this all just happened like a couple of days ago. Friday. This stuff all happened Friday. So, every week since we've been here, drama is going on. Like, the enemy is on my coattails so cold. But anyways, so she tells me, well, you know they're not going to pay me. So, agreement says, this is what she keeps saying. Agreement says, if the owner does not pay her commission, then she has to come to the person, which is me, and collect half of what the monthly rent is, which is her commission. So you mean to tell me I owe you $725 out of my pocket? You know what I mean? I'm like, what agreement? I never signed an agreement. She never talked about being paid for anything. I just thought she was helping me. She was a realtor. She get paid from the people once you get approved, and that's it. So now all of a sudden she's saying I owe her all this money. And she was like, well, think about it. Take the night to think about it. Pray about it. I'm going to be praying about it. And I'm like, I already had the vision 4 days before of a vision of approved. And it was me physically in a house twisting some blinds. So I knew like I'm going to get approved. And so when I saw the email that said approved, everything was the vision. So I knew that this was God. You know, you do whatever you feel is best, and you talk to the Lord. The Lord had already showed me. The vision came to pass, so I know that this is where He wants me to be. It's not where you apply to, but it's where, you know, this one, right? So she, okay, go sleep on it or whatever. So I'm like, ain't nothing to sleep about. I already know this is a house that's approved. He has amazing properties. He's almost taken up half of this side of Houston with properties. All his houses are really, really nice, really, really amazing. I'm like, yes, these houses kept popping up the whole time I've been searching. So I'm like, okay, I already knew. So I was going forward with paying and all that stuff. And she's texting me now every day. I need to get the money from you. And I'm like, what agreement are you talking about? Agreement says. I'm like, what agreement? What agreement are you talking about? What agreement are you talking about? Let me wash this off my face. Okay. And then, y'all, so she texted me the next morning and was like, I knew before I went to bed, deep down in my spirit, deep down in my soul, that you weren't going to do the right thing. And I'm going to file a small claims court for my money. And you owe me, and you don't mess with the man and a woman of God, and all this stuff is gonna happen to you, and you this and you that. I said, lady, look, I can say the same for you because I am his. First of all, there's no agreement. I never signed it. I don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And second of all, I can pay you for your time. You know, even though I did give you gas money and all that, but that was out the kindness of my heart, not asking for anything in return. Not asking for anything in return, but I said, okay, I can pay you $200 for your time. And that's being generous. You know what I mean? Like, $200, but I'm not about to give you no $725, ma'am. It's just not this to happen. Not with everything that's going on and not with all these finances coming out. You're not. Like, you're just not. And so she never responded. She basically told me that she's filing a small claims court. She's taking me to court, and I better watch out what God gonna do to me and all that. I must have told that lady a piece of my mind, and I gave her a piece of my mind, what I think and what I believe about church folks and how they act, and the majority of what the church is filled with and how they cut up and all this. I ain't heard back from the lady. So she's supposed to be suing me. That's fine. She's taking me to court or whatever. But I said, Lord, you know what? You are my vindicator. You know, when I am pressed on every side, which I have been, you will lift up a standard against all situations. You know my heart. You know what I've been, you know what we're going through. You know I've been genuine in this situation. I've been giving this money lady for her time, letting her know I appreciate her time. I thought that we connected on a spiritual level, and like, this ain't nothing but the enemy. And all I could do was cry because we had just got approved the day before. And then here she come with all of this madness, which was trying to block and cloud what God was doing, you know what I mean, in our lives. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let the enemy distract me like this. It's not right. It's not fair. God is still good. And so I'm like, you know what? Whatever. You got all my information. She still has all our information. She has our file with his paycheck stubs, ID, social security. She got all of that. So I blocked her because she kept calling me, and it messed up my head. It messed up my, because it threw me off. And she was like, I see you blocked me. And I'm like, lady, you got all my information. You have my email address. You can contact me any way you please regarding, however you feel. But you're not going to continue to call my phone, text me, all that. This is the most I've ever heard from you since working with you. Like, we were going to use her to get our home, you know what I'm saying? And like all that. But I'm like, if anything, you just shorted yourself. But at the end of the day, you want to use God and you want to put him in the midst of all what you got going on. I'm not here to defend the woman of God that I am. I am not here to do that. That's just not how I roll. I know who I am. I know whose I am, and that's it. And that's all, point blank, period, end of discussion. So we'll see when papers come in the mail or whatever, small claims court. I don't even believe she's going to win, to be honest. But, that's what's been going on with us, you guys. We went to church today, finally. It was amazing. Finally got our house. We'll be moving in on Tuesday, so we'll be doing an empty house tour. And I'll be taking you guys along with me on just trying to get the house together and decorating and putting it together, and all that good stuff. So there are some exciting things happening right now. Finally, after over a month being here, y'all, it's been crazy. Like, these people have preconceived notions. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you just really got to stay prayed up. But I know this is where God wants us to be. I've been taking the kids and trying to balance them going out and seeing Houston. They've done so much. These kids have done so much, trying to keep them busy. And then while I house hunt and deal with all what I'm dealing with. And then my husband, we were having some issues. We done hit a couple bumps in the road because he done went head first into his career. And if I felt like he forgot about me. He wasn't calling like he was, like I needed him to, just for his emotional support and all that. So, but we kind of worked it out and we came to an understanding. Things are so much better and I feel so much better, but God has turned this thing around. I'm just so thankful and so grateful to God. So that is our update, you guys. We will be moving in on Tuesday. We're getting out of this hotel, which is why I'm packing up this stuff, going through my makeup and all this stuff and decluttering and doing all that and cleaning up this motel room, getting it cleaned out, and I'm so excited. But that is that. I don't want this video to be super, super long. That is the update, you guys. Until the next time, inspire. Be inspired. I love you guys. God bless you. Good night.